everyone, it's Jen from Jen Dubell Designs and Countrycraft Creations here today. I am going to do a little walkthrough of my recently completed November design team project for Countrycraft Creations. This album you've seen some sneak peeks for, and it is, well, one sneak peek. It is using the Photoplay Christmas Junque, which I absolutely loved this collection. It's super fun, kind of has a vintage vibe, and I always love the vintage stuff. So this is a 6.5 by 8.5 trifold album, and it has 3 signatures inside and a fun little pocket on the inside front cover. So I popped up some flowers that I had in my stash from previous design team packages, some poinsettias here. I used the sticker from the sticker sheet and popped that up on some of the green paper that I had scraps of, as well as a piece of scrap chipboard, just to lift that up. It's the same picture as underneath on the paper itself, so I just lifted it. I did the same thing with this piece of ephemera from the ephemera pack. And then I have some buttons that were, I think these might actually still be available at Countrycraft Creations, actually. If so, I will link them for you. These are some that I had received in a design team package a while back. They're really fun, red glittery buttons that just really went well with this kind of vintage feel. On the spine, which is 2 inches, I used chipboard and that green paper again to pop up the ephemera, the J, the O, and the Y. And then on the back, I really liked this piece of paper. I actually used it twice in the book. And I popped that up on the red tonic paper. It's red velvet, the glitter cardstock. And then also some of the green solid from the collection and a piece of the plaid here. All of my papers are inked using a brown distress ink. Can't remember which color I used, but any brown ink will work. The Catherine Pooler ones, any of those. So I've also used all of the different ribbons that were in my design team package. We have some of the seam binding, some jute string, as well as this grosgrain ribbon here. So when you open up the album, as I said, it has this fun pocket on the inside that lifts open, and there is a photo mat inside that on there. I had a little boo-boo here, just ignore that. I'm probably going to have to add paper to this or something if I give this one as a gift, because I had a little mishap there. This is a 5.25 by 7.5. And I have a piece of the border strip here and a piece of the ephemera. And that just slides in the pocket. You could go a little bigger. You could add more stuff. And I accidentally put this on before I put my, or after I put my paper on. I would actually much prefer that this be off the paper. But I did move it down about 1/4 inch, our flap here. So I would have to cut a slit in the paper and then slide my gusset in there and then glue the paper down. So that is an option if you don't like that way that looks, or you can just add paper to it. So that is the front pocket. Again, we have some of the stickers here, some of that red velvet tonic paper. And I want to let you know, I had 2 sheets of every piece of this collection, and I actually ran out of paper. So I barely have any little small scraps left. I also had the solids. So if you're going to make this album with this paper, I would highly suggest having at least that. If not, you probably will have to go smaller. So our panel over here has this fun little journaling card. I used a punch from my stash, a doily punch. If you don't have a doily punch, you can simply put a doily on here. That would work exactly the same way. And then I popped up a piece of the ephemera down here, just glued across the bottom, so I had that little spot. When you flip this open, we have that gorgeous red velvet paper. And this, like I said, I ran out of paper, is also a tuck spot, so you could add another photo mat in here if you choose to. Lots of opportunity for photos in this one. So then we're going to flip this all the way open, and you'll see that the spine on the inside is just decorated. I used 2 pieces of the paper because, again, I ran out of paper, and I had to separate them and then use this as the middle, but I like the way it turned out. This is one of the ephemera tickets, and I just cut it down and fit it to match what I put there. For this middle panel, we have a waterfall with a sliding belt mechanism. So this opens, and we have 8 waterfall pages that I just put on the bottom. I put some of that plaid paper. And then this underneath here is, let me grab a piece of paper so I can show you all the little tucky spots here, is also a tuck spot. So if you wanted to add something underneath here, you could. And this just simply closes. You just have to line your belts up, and that closes right over there. It eliminates the need for a magnet, but you could do a magnet. The first signature here has our little flap with Santa Claus. It opens this way. I have the 65-pound smooth white paper as liners. Some of the stickers, it opens again this way, and again we have that gorgeous red velvet. I also used an entire pack minus a few small scraps of the tonic. Let me grab that because I'm probably not saying the right name. I'm saying glitter, and I know it's not glitter. No, it is Red Velvet Craft Perfect Pearlescent Card. Okay, now that we have that established, I'm going to turn to the next side. So this side here has an accordion. There's 2 accordion type mechanisms in this book. This one, I added these 2 bottom corner pockets. So you have 1, 2 journaling elements. This one is 3.5 by 5.25. No, excuse me, 5. And then this one is a 3.25 by 4.25. So this is essentially a 6.5 by 4.25 piece of paper. And that one slides in, and then this one, you can open it and slide it so that the corners go down and it holds the other one in nicely. This flips this way, and we have that nice red and white paper. I did turn that sideways. Like I said, I ran out of options for my paper. Sticker here. On this side, I pieced together this page, which I thought looked nice. And then we have our doors that open again with that white 65-pound smooth. And then there is a tag in the pocket, which I used the, they are from, I got these from CCC a while back. So if you have these, album tags and accents die set. And I used the 2 larger ones to make mine. And for this one, what you have to do is use the largest one, if I could find it, and make your paper narrower so that you can slide your paper in like so. If I can show you like this, so that your paper is on top of the bottom portion. That way you can cut a longer tag, because this tag is from the tip where it is decorative is 8, and it is 3 7/8 inch wide. So that's what I needed to get it to fit the die. And this all just closes up nicely. And there is also a magnet here, as well as on this door, I believe, or is it in here? It's in here. Also, this one, this front pocket, has a magnet here and a magnet here. I think I might have forgot to tell you that. All right, so this page, I used another portion of a doily that I cut with a punch from my stash. Again, you can use any pre-made doily, or if you have a doily die, anything will work. I used some of the ephemera bits and stickers here. And we have this nice journaling card. This one, or excuse me, photo mat, is 5 by, actually, that 5 or 5 1/4? It's 5. 5 by 7.5. The pages, the signatures in this album are, I don't know why I'm having a little bit of a stick. I didn't use my tape trick on this one, and that's probably why I'm getting a little hung up. The pages with the 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch are 5.5, the whole page itself, by 8.25. So I wanted to also show you, as difficult as it is to cut little skinny 1/8 inch pieces, I did want to fill this in because when I first finished this album and put the pages in, I did not like all of the natural artisan cardstock that I could see. It was just too much. So I did add paper to the gussets, which these ones on the 3/8 gussets are 1/4 inch. These are 3/8 of an inch. These are 1/8 of an inch. And I was able to get enough scraps together to do that on both the front and the back on every single one of my pages. So the signature 2 is a pocket page, and it does have a photo mat. I thought that I had made that one, but I guess I didn't, but you could. Sometimes I make these with a tuck spot, and I didn't. This one is 5.5, or excuse me, 5.5 by 8 is what fits in that pocket. So 5.5 by 8. And I used a punch that I purchased from CCC that makes this. It's the EK Tools. This page, I just love these trees, so I left it. I mean, I could have put stickers or pocket or something, but I love the way that looks, so I left it. Signature 3 has stacked pockets, and I played with some of the fun things in there, the to-do list from that cut sheet, and the little Santa Claus. This in its entirety is 3.25 by 3.75. And then we have our tags from the tag page. I mounted those on that red velvet tonic paper. And there's the red seam binding. And then this fun little list. I just love this with the little snowman at the bottom. Just this fun little thing to stick in here. And our last page of our signatures is another accordion. And this has a little pocket on the front. So we have a fun little 3x4, so 3.125 by 4.125 in our pocket. This flips this way. Use some of the stickers in here. Also flips this way. And when you have this all the way open, if you hold up the ribbon, there is another photo mat in here. And this one is 4.25 by 6. Which fits nicely in there, and I use some of that red ribbon. You just kind of have to hold the ribbon up. This is not, the ribbon underneath here is not glued down. It literally floats in here, as you can see, underneath here. Just in this spot. This is all glued down. This is glued here, here, and here, but this moves freely so that you can change it, your ribbon position if you want to, your bow. So this also turns this way. And again, we have some of the stickers, and I love this page. Add a little journaling, pop a couple little pictures on that page would be super cute. And then I'm just going to tie this shut. And like I said, I made that so it moves freely in there so that you can adjust your ribbon where you want it. On the back side, I just have a simple pocket that is gusseted with a photo mat in there. And the photo mats for mine and all of the inserts, I did use 100-pound artisan in natural. I like that extra thickness, but the regular artisan works just as well, especially if you're putting paper on it. This one is 5.5 by 7.5. And it fits perfectly down into that pocket. This one is a fun one. This was the little weekly planner, and I just thought this would be cute to have in there for the week of Christmas. just a little journaling thing, and I just cut it in half from the sheet. And then I made this, which measures out at 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, but it also has this little flap that is 1 inch. So it's essentially a 7 1/2 cut down. That doesn't sound right to me. By 4 1/4. And then I rounded everything and I scored this so that I had this little flap. And then I just used a die from my stash for this little scallop circle, put one of the stickers on there, popped a hole in it, and grabbed some stretchy cord from my stash as well. And that just slides right over there. So that is my album. The tutorial is also available on my channel, and I have that linked below for you. So you can go right to it if you choose to. I hope that you guys have a wonderful crafty day and enjoy this fun time of year. I absolutely love holiday crafting. It's my favorite. So have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.